Greetings everyone, and welcome to part 13 of my 2012 DVD and Blu-ray collection overview. Yeah, the last time I did one of these overviews, it was in 2008, and it was finished after 11 parts. Now we've done 13 parts. We've been a little bit more efficient this time, though, because there's been a lot more stuff to cover. Yeah, so last time we took a look at the horror DVDs and just the very beginning little piece of the sci-fi section. Today we're going to jump full-blown into the sci-fi section and check out what we've got here. That's these two bottom shelves here, and that will wrap up the main bulk of the collection. Now I should mention I also do have Sci-Fi Blu-rays, which you will find over here, and I covered those in a previous episode, so if you want to check those out, you can check those out in that other episode. For now, we're going to take a look at the two Sci-Fi DVD shelves today on the Multimedia Chronicles. Okay, so I realized last time we didn't actually finish off this shelf. We just did it up to the end of the horror stuff. Well, this is actually the beginning of the sci-fi section here, as I touched on briefly when we took a look at these three. So let's take a look at the rest of them, and then we'll move down to the two main sci-fi shelves below. Alright, so we already took a look at those. So next up we have some sort of Arnie related stuff. We got Predator 1 and 2, collector's editions. Oh, I don't have as much shelf space as I thought I did. I forgot, I zoomed right in. So this is the 2-disc special editions of both of these, loaded with extras, great stuff. I have not upgraded Predator to Blu-ray because none of the Blu-rays that are currently out are what I would consider upgrades. They are crap, so don't waste your money. And then for Terminator, we have the Terminator 2 Ultimate Edition DVD, which has much of the same content as my old Laserdisc edition, and the Terminator 2 Extreme DVD, which has some of the same content and some new stuff as well, plus very cool. And this is metal. You can see the rivets there. That is the metal case, not the cardboard re-release. You can see actually the dent there. And this is the most dangerous slipcase ever devised by man. You can like slit your wrists on this, and so be very careful when handling that one. Alright, then we got a couple others here. We got Hackers, great 90s cheese fest. I just love this movie. Awesome soundtrack. Nice gothy Angelina Jolie, which is always delectable to me. The Day After Tomorrow, which I actually still haven't watched. I'm probably going to watch this, and then if I like it, get the Blu-ray. If not, I'll just sell it and be done with it. And then we have Legend, the Ultimate Edition. This has both cuts of the movie. I believe the Blu-ray edition that's out now actually has all the content from this, so I might sell it. Although it is quite a nice edition. I thought it was a slipcover, but it actually isn't. So it actually opens up like that. So that's pretty cool. Very classy. And then we have Enemy Mine, which I really hope comes out on Blu-ray, because I think this is just an awesome movie. Really good stuff. Directed by Wolfgang Petersen, who is quite a notable director. Look him up on IMDb. Outer Limits, Season 1. This is the remake series, not the original. But very good stuff indeed. I got to pick up the rest of the seasons of that, and the original, of course. The Lone Gunmen, which of course was the short-lived X-Files spin-off series. And then we have Harsh Realm, which was based on a comic book that hardly anybody read. And, well, even fewer people watched the show. Yeah, it's okay. It has its moments. It's not the greatest thing. And then here's a couple. We got Ice Pirates, which is just ridiculously cheesy, and I love it for that reason. And Quark, which is a short-lived sci-fi comedy series from the co-creator of Get Smart. Which co-creator was it? Buck Henry. It was from Buck Henry, who co-created Get Smart with Mel Brooks. And that's really good. And then finally, a couple other cheese fests, which I adore. We have Robot Jocks, giant robots, how can you go wrong? And stars Gary Graham from the Alien Nation TV series. And then you got Heart Beeps with Andy Kaufman and Bernadette Bernadette Peters as Two Robots in Love. It's Andy Kaufman as a robot. Come on. That's worth the price of admission alone, right there. And that does it. So let's move the camera down, and we'll check out the rest of the sci-fi stuff. Alrighty, so here we have the sci-fi collection. Quite a lot of, big series, like some TV shows and some movie series and whatnot. So let's take a look here. So we'll start over here. Actually, the one on top here, of course, is Evolution, which is a great little sci-fi parody, or at least I've heard. I actually haven't watched it yet. This was sent to me by a viewer a little while ago, and I just haven't got around to watching it yet. But I will. Don't worry, I will. Okay, and then over here, we have my little War of the Worlds section. We've got the original 1953 movie, the first season of the late 80s TV series, and then the Asylum version of War of the Worlds. I used to have the Steven Spielberg one as well. I had the 2-disc special edition of it, but I actually sold it because the Blu-ray edition has everything that's on that. So, and I have seen the entire series of the TV series, which I really liked, actually. It was one of my favorite shows of the 88 to 90 seasons. It only lasted 2 seasons. I still need to pick up the second one. And, of course, continuing on with some of the sci-fi TV here. Let's actually just grab a bunch of them. We, of course, have Tek War. I actually sold my old collection of that because it was redundant. We have Season 2 of Lex. I still need to pick up Seasons 3 and 4. I used to have Season 1. I've seen it many times. The Criterion edition of Robocop. Thank you, Skinslip. And the complete series of Robocop, the live-action series. So I'll just get the glare. I'll lean in front of the glare. There we go. So this is all 22 episodes of the Canadian-produced Robocop TV series. I still need to pick up Robocop Prime Directives, which was the miniseries. And then, of course, if you watched the Blu-ray updates, you'll know that I have the complete movie trilogy of the Robocop movies. And then we have the original V. We got V, the original miniseries, V, the final battle, and V, the complete series. I have done videos about these, by the way. And I should mention, if you're just tuning in now, if there's anything we're talking about here that I've done full reviews of, or in-depth looks at in other videos, I will post the links to those videos down below in the description. So be sure to check the description if you're wondering if I've done videos about any of these more in-depth. So in case you're wondering what order to watch the original V series in, it's this order here. You start with V, the original miniseries, then you watch V, the final battle, and then you watch V, the complete series, which is the regular series which followed the 2 miniseries. And then, of course, there's the 2 seasons of the recent remake. Then we have Planet of the Apes, the complete TV series, all 14 episodes of the live-action series, and then Return to the Planet of the Apes, which is, some classic 70s sci-fi animated television. Really deadly serious series, I gotta say, like pretty serious for a kid's cartoon. But, yeah, anyway, so this is all 13 episodes of the cartoon, all 14 episodes of the live-action series, and then, of course, I do have the Blu-ray collection of the movies. Gotta love some Planet of the Apes action. And then we have Total Recall 2070, kind of relevant that I be talking about that right now because there's the remake of the Total Recall movie on the way. Actually, it may already be out by the time you're watching this. The TV series is nothing like that, though. It's nothing like the movie. It actually it's a lot more like Blade Runner. So if you like Blade Runner, check out Total Recall 2070. Then we have what I like to call my darker Disney collection. We got some dark sci-fi and fantasy from the Disney House of Ideas. We got The Black Hole, which apparently is getting a remake. Dragon Slayer, which was a co-production with Paramount. Something Wicked This Way Comes. And one of the first DVDs I ever bought, Tron, the 20th Anniversary Collector's Edition. Very cool stuff indeed. I'm pretty sure all the extras from this are on the new Blu-ray edition. I could be wrong. I kind of keep this one around for nostalgic reasons just because it was one of the first DVDs I ever bought. And it's a pretty cool edition. It has some pretty nice animated menus that really put you in the world of Tron that are not really duplicated on the Blu-ray edition. So there we go. Then a few more sci-fi TV shows. We of course have the complete series of Captain Power and the Soldiers of the Future, one of my favorite shows from the 80s. I was totally obsessed with this show. There was a few shows, you know, I'd have my shows, one or two shows I would be totally obsessed with. This was the one I was obsessed with in 1987. And then we have Space Above and Beyond, the complete series, and the Starlost. I actually did a two-part video about the Starlost. You know, some good old-fashioned, low-budget, cheesy 70s sci-fi, which I love. And then Space Above and Beyond, of course, Marines in Space. Actually quite a good show. I really liked it a lot. And then we got a couple of cult favorites here. We have the special edition of Krull and the special edition of The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai Across the Eighth Dimension. Lots of fun stuff, starring a pre-Robocop Peter Weller. Very cool indeed. And then we have my little Dune collection. We've got the original 1984 movie with both the theatrical cut and the miniseries extended cut version. Then we have the remake from 2000-something, 2001 I think. The director's cut of that, which is quite good. And then the sequel, Children of Dune, which adapts books 2 and 3 of the original Dune books. Very cool indeed. I love me some Dune. There was talk that they might do some of the other books, the ones that Brian Herbert did, but I don't know what's come of that. I have a couple by John Carpenter. We got The Thing, which is probably my all-time favorite sci-fi horror, right alongside the original Alien. And then Escape from New York. Now, some people might say this is action, but I mean, given that it's set in the future, and it's got some sci-fi elements to it, I just kind of lump it together with The Thing. And, you know, and they both got Kurt Russell, and they're both John Carpenter, and yeah. Anyway, love both of these. This is, of course, the super duper special edition with all the extras. This is the one to get. And the reason I haven't upgraded to Blu-ray yet is because no Blu-ray edition has come out yet that is comparable to this. I used to have the comparable edition of this on Laserdisc back in the day, and it was quite a while before we got a DVD edition that had the same kind of content. And we got some alien-oriented stuff here. We have Ray Bradbury's Martian Chronicles complete miniseries, Alien Nation, the original movie, Alien Nation, the complete TV series. Fantastic series, by the way. Love that show. And then Alien Nation, the Ultimate Movie Collection. This contains all of the all 5 of the TV movies that they did following the cancellation of the TV series. They picked it up a few years later as a series of TV movies that thankfully wrapped up the big cliffhanger at the end of the original series, and then went off for some new adventures for 4 more movies. So that was pretty cool that they at least got the chance to do that. And then we got Max Headroom. I'm not going to pull out anything else because Max Headroom stands alone. One of the all-time greatest TV shows ever. I'd say in many ways even more relevant today than it was at the time. But just a really good post-apocalyptic, dystopian kind of, you know, corporations controlling everything kind of world. And of course we got Galactica 1980. I do also have the complete original series of Battlestar Galactica. Basically got this to complete the set. Very cool. Considered by many to be one of the worst TV shows ever made. And then we have the complete series of Babylon 5. Let's take a look here. We got Season 1. Just going to try to avoid the glare as much as we can here. Season 2. I should mention also, these are the original big box versions, which I like. I was actually thinking of maybe parting with these and getting the slightly slimmer re-release versions, because they still have the nice shiny covers on them and stuff. They just don't have the big cumbersome boxes. Like if you take a look, they're basically like books. So you open them up like that, and they have a tendency to fall apart, which is, you know, not good. They're kind of cool in principle. I mean, they certainly keep each of the discs safe and individually separated, but the glue that they use on the spine. I mean, the trays are literally just glued to a little strip of cardboard on the back, and they just don't hold up very well. And then, there we go. So that's all 5 seasons of Babylon 5. But of course, Babylon 5 was not just the TV seasons. No, no, no. It was also, just one moment here, it actually started as a pilot movie. And then there's actually a few more movies as well. They did a total of 6 movies. And this set has 5 of them, and this is the 6th one here. So there you go. And then they attempted to do a second series, which is going to be another 5 seasons, but due to creative differences between the network and Joe Michael Straczynski, the series creator and head writer, this was canceled after 13 episodes. So Crusade was the follow-up series, and one of the movies in here actually leads into Crusade. The only Babylon 5 I'm missing is one called The Lost Tales, which is one that they put out a few years back, but I have not picked that one up yet. And then we have Ghostbusters 1 and 2. I think just about everybody I know has this particular set. The reason to have this set, of course, is, it has the cool ectoplasm green. It has unique packaging for them, fair number of extras and whatnot. But the main reason to keep it is for the collector's packaging and the book that comes with it, which is quite nice. Maybe we'll do some Ghostbusters videos at some point and look at that a little more in depth. It was just announced recently that Ghostbusters 2 may finally be coming to Blu-ray. I actually still have to pick up the Ghostbusters 1 Blu-ray, believe it or not. Yeah, basically my thinking was, well, I got the first 2 on DVD at the same time, so I'd like to get them on Blu-ray at the same time as well. And here, of course, pretty obvious, we have Star Wars, the original trilogy. This is the 2004 DVD release, which has just the 2004 special edition versions of the movie, but the reason to keep it is for this disc here, the bonus materials disc, which features Empire of Dreams, a 4-hour documentary about the making of the original trilogy. So if we look at the box here is quite nice too. I don't have the Star Wars trilogy on Blu-ray yet. To be honest, I want to get the complete Saga edition, but to be honest, I really hate the cover. I think it's just a terrible cover that does not encompass all the spectacle that is Star Wars. And then we have George Lucas's directorial debut, THX 1138. Might actually grab the Blu-ray of this because it's out on Blue now. And then we have these ones here. We've got, of course, Episode 1, which I know is everyone's favorite. More Jar Jar. Can't get enough Jar Jar. I'm being sarcastic for those of you who don't understand sarcasm. And Episode 3. And then I got the limited edition versions of Episodes 4, 5, and 6, because these ones, of course, contain the original unaltered theatrical versions as a bonus. Unfortunately, in non-anamorphic widescreen rather than anamorphic widescreen, so the quality isn't as good as the special edition versions, but, well, something is better than nothing, right? And I was not one of the lucky ones who thought ahead to buy the Laserdiscs when they came out, so I don't have those. I should mention also, in my Episode 4, I also have a disc in there that has the best known copy of the Star Wars Holiday Special. Which, of course, in terms of the epic saga, takes place between Episodes 4 and 5. There you go. I don't care what anybody says, I consider the Holiday Special canon, because they've made references to Life Day and whatnot in the other Star Wars stuff. And then we have the original Clone Wars animated series. It's not the CG series, this is actually the cartoon miniseries, both seasons. Really, really well done. And it's too bad that they've kind of pushed this away in favor of the new one. It would be nice if this was still available, because I know a lot of people want to see it. And then we have Droids. Again, I really wish they just put out a complete series set of it. I mean, it's only like 15 episodes, I think. And it would be nice to have it complete and uncut. These are edited into movies rather than shown episodically, and they have all the music changed. and some of the voices too. And then we have the 2 Ewok movies, and then of course Hardware Wars, which is actually probably the very first Star Wars fan film. And quite a funny one at that. I mean, it's cheesy as hell, but expect a lot of groaner jokes. Okay, then we have all 10 Star Trek movies. I've not bought any of the Star Trek movies on Blu-ray because the current editions, as of April 2012, of the Star Trek movies on Blu-ray are absolute shit. They are horrible quality transfers, horrible, outdated, overprocessed transfers that make everybody look like wax dummies. Thanks, but no thanks. I'll stick with my 2-disc DVD editions. Not to mention the fact there are alternate cuts of many of the movies, such as the director's edition of Star Trek the Motion Picture. There's like 3 versions of Star Trek the Motion Picture. The only one on the Blu-ray is the theatrical version. Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. This is the director's cut. The director's cut is not on the Blu-ray. So then we got Star Trek 3, Star Trek 4, Star Trek 5, and Star Trek 6. Easily my favorites. I'm an original crew guy. I love the original crew. I don't think any other Star Trek has ever matched the camaraderie and character interaction that the original crew had. But if I had to pick one other Star Trek series, it would of course be Star Trek The Next Generation, even though the movies are kind of hit and miss. I do love First Contact. That is a freaking awesome movie. Used to have that on Laserdisc as well. So there we go. So then we have 7, 8, 9, and 10. Generations, First Contact, Big Erections, and Nemesis. I always call Insurrection Big Erections. I don't know why. I guess I'm just 12 years old at heart. Okay, and then we have a couple of British ones. We've got Day of the Triffids, the 1981 miniseries, and it's actually Quatermass and the Pit. But this being a budget release, they don't have much quality control. They called it Quartermass and the Pit. Quatermass was almost like a precursor to Doctor Who, serialized science fiction adventures about this scientist guy investigating strange goings-on with aliens and whatnot. So, I briefly mentioned this version of Day of the Triffids when I did the Sci-Fi Blu-rays, because I have the 2009 version as well. And then we're going to split this up into a couple of sections here. We have Red Dwarf, and I have done a video all about this collection, so we'll, check the description for that, and we'll just give you a quick look at them here. So Red Dwarf Series 1 through 5. These are fantastic collections. If you're a fan of Red Dwarf, you definitely owe it to yourself to pick these up. Don't get the episodes only collections, because that's all they are, is just the episodes. These versions are really worth it for the extras. So then we got Series 6, Series 7. Just trying to watch the glare there. Series 8. Series 9, even though they don't call it Series 9. It's Red Dwarf Back to Earth on Blu-ray, the first. They actually started doing Red Dwarf in high definition before Doctor Who, so they beat Doctor Who. And then one of the other greatest sci-fi comedies of all time, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Yeah, good stuff. And this is the original BBC miniseries version, not the movie. I don't actually have the movie. I used to have it on DVD, but and I will get it on Blu-ray just for completion's sake. I mean, it's not a total write-off. I don't mind the movie, but I definitely prefer the old one. And then finally, we have the complete series of the 70s sci-fi serialized show, The Tomorrow People, with all, I believe, 8 seasons. They were really short seasons, though. I mean, I think the grand total here is like a little over 70 episodes. Lots of fun, actually. I mean, I love cheesy, low-budget 70s sci-fi, and The Tomorrow People is, that in spades. And it actually had some pretty good stories in it, too, for its time. I mean, it was geared towards younger viewers, but I liked it. And that is it for the Sci-Fi Shelf. So, next time, I guess we'll be wrapping things up, taking a quick look at some of the big deluxe box sets and whatnot. I've done videos about a lot of the box sets, and if I haven't, I'm probably going to very soon. So we won't spend too much time looking at them, just sort of give you a quick look at the packaging and whatnot. But that will be next time. So until then, thanks for watching, and sayonara.